Okay.
Or Eric Ramos Amaya.
Yes.
Order in the court.
Mr. Ramos Amaya, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during questions and interviews with the state of Texas. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you, sir. Okay.
On October 28, 2024, the officer was dispatched to Hempstead Road in reference to a person down. Upon arrival, the officer met with a witness who advised that around 8:50 p.m., she observed the defendant's motor vehicle to be parked in a parking lot at Speedy's Fast Track and observed the defendant to be passed out.
It's a safe place to stop, very well
in the
lit.
driver's seat of the car. The witness also observed the vehicle running. The witness attempted to wake the defendant, but he was non-responsive. Upon the officer's arrival, they also observed the defendant to be unconscious behind the wheel of the car with the vehicle running. Upon getting the defendant to exit the vehicle, the officer observed a moderate odor of an alcoholic beverage, glossy eyes, slurred speech, and a swayed stance on the defendant's person. The defendant admitted to drinking. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted, HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 6 out of 8, one leg stand 2 out of 4. The DIC was read and the defendant consented to breath. The results were 0.228 and 0.221.
So you just found him there in the parking lot.
It was reported as person down. There was a call that came in. He was unconscious.
What kind of evidence is there that he was driving at any time? How do we know that he was not just hanging out at Speedy's and drinking
Well,
like
you're right.
crazy?
The officer found him unconscious behind the wheel with the vehicle still running at the time. And
I understand that. I understand, but maybe it was for warmth, so he could breathe. What evidence is there of driving? Do you have anyone that sees him driving? Do you have?
the witness just sees him parked already with the vehicle running, and that's what.
I
Yeah,
understand.
and that's what we have. Is the call came in.
Michael, do you have anything else? You know?
Judge. So we have defendant unconscious in the driver's seat of the running vehicle, and the court's issue.
He's in a parking lot of Speedy's. If he's in the middle of the road, unconscious, that's something, right? If he's in the middle of nowhere, unconscious, and he had to have gotten there somehow, okay. How do we know he wasn't inside Speedy's?
Well, but Judge, my opinion is the court is attempting to litigate the issue. This is probable cause. All we have to show is that probable cause is met in the case. He is unconscious in his driver's seat of the vehicle while it's on. That, in the state's opinion, is more than enough.
Driving while intoxicated. It's not sitting in a car. while
Operating a motor vehicle.
What proof do you have of operation?
I can provide you, if the court needs case law citations of operation and what is considered enough for operation. If you give me like 5 minutes, I can get
Take
that
your
for
time,
you.
no rush.
Thank you,
Really,
Judge.
we got until the end of docket. Show me something that says just sitting in a car,
Yes,
you
Judge.
know, with it on.
And it's not a public roadway either. It is, yeah, it's
It's a public place, Judge. There's no case law.
I get that, but my issue is, how do we know that he wasn't inside Speedy's just going nuts on alcohol and he just goes back in his car and just sitting in his car to sleep it off? I don't know that. We don't operate on hunches, right? That's what I'm saying, like if he's.
assuming that the state is correct in their case law, it still doesn't address your essential question. I mean, let's just say what they're saying for operation purposes. It still doesn't address that at the time that the officer said that found him, he was at 0.08 or higher, or any operation at all while he was intoxicated.
I just want some proof of operation.
I can get you the case law.
That's,
Yes, Judge.
I'm not asking much. All right, take a seat, Mr. Ramos. I'm not ready to rule yet. Okay, Mr. Ramos, I've been
Order in the court, please.
I'm gonna find that there's probable
Voy a
cause to go forward.
declarar que hay causa probable para continuar con su caso.
I am ordering you as a condition.
Le
of
ordeno
rebuttal.
como
Well, let me
condición.
ask you this. Are
Bueno,
you a
déjeme-
United
déjeme
States citizen?
preguntar, ¿usted es un ciudadano estadounidense?
No.
No.
Are you in this country with or without permission?
Judge, I
Pues,
always tell my
Yo
clients that
siempre digo a mi cliente de que
not to answer it because
no
you're
responde
asking them
porque
to
está
admit to a
hablando para
potential
admitir
criminal.
Okay.
Yes.
Ok, está bien.
I want you to understand
Quiero que
one thing.
entienda de que
Not in
una
this
cosa es si
country
no
with
está en el país
permission.
con permiso.
You go to jail
cárcel.
and immigration finds you, they will put an immigration detainer on you and you will be stuck in custody first until this case is over with and then shipped off to immigration. I don't know what your immigration status is, but if you're not in this country with permission, be very careful. Do you have a Texas driver license?
Licencia de conducir de Texas.
Do you have liability insurance in your name?
Yes.
Okay, you may continue to drive, but I am ordering you not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I will randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or any kind of illegal drugs, I will put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. Now, I will order you to obtain an interlock that you're not allowed to drive any vehicle that's not equipped with an ignition interlock on it. Your counsel has asked me not to put one on in the work vehicle, but understand that could be a huge liability on your part. If there's an accident and they learn of that he has an open DWI, it could be potentially disastrous to
Es desastroso.
your business.
Ah,
So you need to consider this when you're out there, especially if he's driving and he has an open DWI, it could be very disastrous.
Are you saying that he's allowed to drive one of her vehicles without an interlock?
I know that you are against
Yo sé
this,
que usted está en
right?
contra de eso.
What I will do is I'm
Lo que
also
haré es que también
scram monitor on your ankle, so I know that you're not consuming alcohol at any time. And I will not put it on the vehicle,
Thank you.
okay? But I want you to understand, these machines are extremely finicky. So you better darn well know anything that you put in your body before, because I don't care what it is, if it's a tequila lollipop, if it's NyQuil, if it's hair dye, if it's isopropyl alcohol, if it's Jesus comes down and tells you to break bread, I don't care what it is. The slightest, faintest, most remote positive alcohol, you will land in custody. Do you understand? Be careful, especially with your insurance, because if insurance knows that if your insurance doesn't know that he has an open DWI and it gets into an accident, they may deny liability. So, you need to really put everyone on notice, because it could be a very big issue. Now, good job on having a lawyer. You've got a junkyard dog for a lawyer who we respect very much. It is your responsibility to stay in touch with Herman. He will tell you if and when you have to come back to court.
Cuando se tiene que regresar.
Herman tells me that he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. Just stay in touch, do not pick up any new cases, and don't consume alcohol. Do you have any questions?
No.
I will also pay for the devices so that there are no issues, Herman.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Do you have any other issues that
No,
you
sir,
like?
not at this
Okay.
time.
All right. With that, we're done.
Thank you.
All right.